You know what's weird, man, is when you listen to yourself in a video, I'm like, wow, do I really sound like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just like, very Aussie, man. Holy. Hey guys, Tom Rayner here with Rayner Construction Services from Australia. I moved here about 7 years ago. Been one hell of a journey to get to where I am today. Grew up in a small country town in Australia, probably 3 hours inland of Sydney. I ended up going to a private school in Sydney, which really taught me from a young age at 12 or 13 years old to be pretty independent. Went to university. I ended up getting a job halfway through university in the construction industry, where I ended up doing university full-time and worked full-time. Quite an insane time in my life, but I was fortunate enough to have a really good employer who was able to financially assist with my university as well, alleviating all of the education debt that we tend to rack up in our educational days. So anyway, I ended up working at that company for 5 to 6 years. It was an amazing experience. Had a very influential, great leader. That company, honestly, and the position and what I was involved in and learnt has got me to where I am today. Never-ending support, great family culture. So yeah, he really just gave me the opportunities to do what I do. You know, I slowly moved up. I started as what they call a contracts administrator, which is basically a coordinator over here. Quickly moved into a project manager role, senior project manager, operations manager, and then actually just before I got the opportunity to move over to Canada, he offered me part ownership of the business. And as a 25-year-old, or even less, 24-year-old, to have that opportunity was pretty amazing. You know, really instilled within myself a lot of confidence that what I'm doing and how I approach things and the way I go about things is the right way. My wife, she works for a large global real estate company. She got a job offer with the same company to move overseas. Yeah, we just got married. We actually just got back from our honeymoon. And literally within 2 weeks, I remember coming home and I was I got home a bit late. We were going to sit down for dinner, and I could just tell something wasn't right. So I said, "Hey, babe, what's up? What's going on?" Yeah, and it was this opportunity, right? So it was definitely a hard pill to swallow at the time, especially having the opportunity on my end, being able to buy part ownership of the business I was at. So it was tough. There was a lot of tough decisions to be made there. We travelled quite a bit, but we weren't ever thinking about moving overseas, I guess, permanently. So anyway, after a few weeks, I guess, we thought about it over the Christmas break. We ended up deciding to take the plunge, move over to the other side of the world that we actually didn't even know where Calgary was, or what it was about, or, obviously you can do your research online and, top cities of the world and things like that, and Calgary is up there in the top 10. So, we knew it was a good place. Delivered the news to my old employer and super devastated, as you could expect he was, but totally respectful as well. And, to this very day, I honestly touch base with him nearly once a month, and, we share a lot of business stories and strategies and, challenges that we go through, and he's continued to grow his business, and yeah, it's awesome. I just went back to Australia a couple of months ago, and we caught up, and yeah, it was cool. It's like he never left. So we moved here in 2013, and my wife obviously had a job straight away, and honestly, it was super daunting to come over here because you don't realise what you take for granted, what you have set up in your life back in the country you grew up in, and to come over here, like just simple things like a bank card, and even to be able to go and get a job, you got to go get a SIN number. Like, what the hell's a SIN number? I think I interviewed with 3 or 4 different companies, had a job within a month with quite a large firm, nationally actually. Did do a lot of bank renovations, upgrades, so I looked after Royal Bank portfolios, CRBC portfolios, a lot of work in Winnipeg, Regina, Saskatoon. So yeah, I was traveling the countryside, straight away, if that's something to boast about to those places. So we moved here in April, May sort of thing. So it was coming to the summer months, and I think most people agree that live here that summer is amazing. Yeah, summers are amazing. I mean, it's all amazing. It's certainly very much a life change. The weather is, I guess, the biggest one. I think cultures, the way people get along, the way we handle business and things like that is all pretty similar, to be honest, from home, which is great. And for me, having the confidence and learning what I'd learned at my last job, I had so much fun coming here, right? Like to go out and basically start fresh and create, networks and relationships that you sort of already knew how to do. You didn't have to figure that out, right? You know how to talk to people, you know how to approach people. So it was really cool to come to another place with those tools in your bag. I don't think any one person is ever self-made, to be honest. As much as they claim they may be, or the media points it that way, I think it's impossible, to be honest. It's who you surround yourself with, it's who you network with, and how you go about it, right? And you scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's the way of life. It's the way it should be. It's the way it's really always worked. So for me, I feel like I've had a lot of support, and I feel lucky with what I've accomplished. But I've also worked damn hard. I'm in a good position now, and yes, there's still a lot of focus on the business to grow it and that, but I want to start giving back and giving people the opportunity and support that I was given to get to where I am.